Shalom.
Shalom.
Okay, I want to say AwamaYaH for allowing me to be here today to speak to you all and for presenting this message to you. I'm a little bit nervous. I'm going to start by talking about the numerous ways that we have had for transmitting messages has existed for thousands of years using wedge shapes, signs, and pictures. And this type of communication did not require an alphabet. What we consider today as true writing started when an organized systems of signs and symbols was created that could clearly record and fix all that the writer was capable of expressing. Non-pictographic means of communication was developed at Sinai with the inception of the AwamaYaH, AYaHSharAL, the Holy Tongue, and AwamaYaH, the writings. When ancient records are translated and names are transliterated, they do not always maintain the same power of meaning as the original. Sometimes when words are translated into English to mean one thing, the actual meaning can be different. And this is being particularly true in trying to convey feelings and thoughts from one language to another. Helper or filler words, for example, like that and of, appear in some sentences which can reverse or change the meaning of the sentence altogether. Our mind has the ability to correct itself or recorrect itself over a period of time if it can touch some original historic base, and from that base level experience some memories. We have been taught multiple erroneous notions regarding our legacy, but our higher memories still exist, but are driven into our subconscious mind and memory. And the original master copy always remains with our body and with our mind as long as we are alive and the silver cord is not broken. It has been a generational curse from one generation to another. So like we have been Willie lynched. We have been taught these erroneous doctrines from one generation to another. So in addition to experiencing lynching, physical lynching, we have also experienced death spiritually and mentally in accordance with the plan. So they have projected our future for us because of our failure to surrender to Yah. And they established guidelines that would make us slaves forever if it were possible. Language leads to the heart of a people. The Italians and Mexicans and Puerto Ricans, etc., when they give birth to children and raise them in America, they always teach their native language. Because again, language leads to the heart of a people. So when the mother tongue and our people are disassociated, many truths that would be normally transported by communication that are relevant to our quest to return to our former dominion are hidden. The mission of this conference is to set in motion the restoration of the ancient language, and in the process of restoration, many messages will become clear to us. When Haman devised a plan that he would destroy all of Yashar'al, King Ahasuerus issued an edict to every ruler of every people after their language. The king realized that in order for the people to fully understand the force of the meaning, it must be delivered in each person's language. In Zephaniah 3 and 9, turn to Zephaniah 3 and 9. Zephaniah 3 and 9 states, "For I will turn to the people a pure language, that they may all call upon the name of Yah to serve him with one consent." So when he says then, we realize that this is something that's going to occur in the future, at that time and at that place, and it could even be a beginning. And he says, I'm going to turn to the people, so you're all going to be converted back again, and you might even be turned over and have a new beginning. And when he talks about purifying a pure language, what he's simply saying is the boundaries of our lips, which is our speech, will be clarified. That's the pure language. The language will be clarified. And it's going to be a time when we're all united as one. So our thoughts will be collected as one. We'll regain our faculties and our power. So it's like genetic memory will be revived. It's clear to me that fragments of the ancient language surface from its interment in our subconscious mind to our conscious mind even before we become enlightened about our history and the ancient language. The names that we sometimes give our children establish that point. I know sisters named Shamika, Sha and Ka, Taniqua, and Deja. Each name contains letters from the ancient alphabet. So Zephaniah 3 and 9, as I understand, is not saying don't study the language, but at that time, Yah will clarify, enlarge, make changes, scrape off, shave off, whatever's necessary, any expressions that will not be essential at that stage of our development. And Hosea 2 and 17 gives a small example of that. He says that I will take away the name of Baalim out of her mouth, and they shall no more be remembered. Not remembered. So that is a new thought process. Memory will revive as we step into the light, the coming of the knowing mind, the operation of specific thoughts with functions such as memory and language revive. We will receive new information from Yah that will cause the mind to correct itself. It will be the glory of consciousness at its zenith. The AwamaYaH are configurations of a Yah. They assume different forms in this terrestrial world because of our failure to surrender to Yah and because of man's physical body whose perceptibility is governed by his senses and not spiritual. So in the future age, the AwamaYaH age, a time of completion and purification, when the two sticks are joined and the spirit of Yah rests upon man, the letters will be that of a different sequence and meaning that corresponds to the condition of man and his spiritual development. The language will assume new spiritual meaning, a pure language. So we're different, then that's the pure language that he's talking about. But the ancient language that's given to us now is in accordance with our deeds and our needs to return to that point. So once we return to that point, that's when the language will become clear. We can become pure, because the things that we have to do now will not be necessary then. So the ancient language gives the ability to see things in a true relationship. And with the blessings of Yah, the language is a key opening and revealing the way to the repository of a Yah's wisdom. This experience is the beginning of a journey to the old path and forward on this path with great spiritual awareness of Yah in our ancient ones. And Jeremiah 6 and 16. In Jeremiah 16 and 16 it says, Thus saith Yah, stand you in the way and see and ask for the old path, where is the good way, and walk therein, and you shall find rest for your souls. But they said, we shall not walk right therein. So when he tells them to stand in the stand can have various applications. Okay, when you abide, you stand. When you confirm, you stand. And also this is something that you're to be employed at. So it's like your employment that you go to. This is something that you have to be about. You have to be sincere about. And we're supposed to treat the ancient path as our stand. And he said the road